Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank Panayotis and Nicolas from The Economist for the kind invitation to be here with you. As we approach, ladies and gentlemen, we're commemorating this year the 75th anniversary of the Truman Doctrine. I want to start with a great American humorist, Mark Twain, once said, "History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme." And the rhymes of those early years of the Truman Doctrine seem to be early echoing in our current situation. And that brings us to the question of, can geopolitical tensions be eased in the Western Balkans and Eastern Mediterranean? At the time when NATO alliances should be working more effectively to confront Russia's invasion in the Ukraine and the turmoil it has caused in Europe into world markets, Turkey is unwisely and dangerously stoking new tensions and destabilizing the southern European and Middle East regions. It again is threatening its peaceful neighbor, Greece, by demanding that Athens remove defensive systems from its sovereign islands, despite decades of Turkish violations of Greek territorial airspace in waters that continue today. Turkey is escalating its violations of Cyprus' exclusive economic zone to seize for its own purpose natural gas reserves that lawfully belong to Cyprus, which Turkey continues to illegally occupy for nearly 50 years, and giving Putin the playbook for illegally occupying Crimea and eastern Ukraine. Turkey is preparing to send its military forces deeper into northern Syria to attack our Kurdish allies who defeated the Islamic State and are preventing its terrorist resurgence against innocent civilians in Syria and Iraq. Greece's three-port network, and including Ioannidis of Thessaloniki, Alexandroupoli, and Kavala, serve as NATO's strongest and most reliable strategic transportation access routes for energy, resources, and military supplies for our allies in Central and Eastern Europe, and especially to help Ukraine defend itself against the ongoing Russian invasion. On a positive note, the Trans-Adriatic pipeline has become a regional energy source to Europe, an example of energy stability, of bringing together Greece, Albania, and Italy. We are also concerned about the recent renewed tensions between the Kosovo government and the ethnic Serbian minority, and call on both Belgrade and Pristina officials to prevent any violent escalations and commit to resolve all such issues through peaceful negotiations. All these regional issues, ladies and gentlemen, is so many more play out against the backdrop of Russian unprovoked invasion of the Ukraine, which is generating great uncertainty about the future of Europe. It is important that we continue to arm Ukraine to the point where Russia is paying a high price enough for the parties that can be brought to the negotiating table and achieve a compromised peace. We want to see an end to the destruction of the Ukrainian economy, and we need to persuade Russia that its best interests lie in neutrality between China and the West, and not in begging for Chinese contracts and support. In closing, ladies and gentlemen, Washington is going to play probably a key role on what is happening here in the region. As you know, Senator Menendez, who was here recently, looks like he'll be retaining his chair, as the Senate would probably be retained in a Democratic majority. And it shows also that back home in Washington, D.C., the U.S. Congress has a strong understanding of the vital role that Greece plays in a strategic role in the Eastern Med, and needs to be the focal point in the efforts to establish new energy sources in the European Union. This sentiment was even placed before the Russian attack on the Ukraine. And thank you very much.